Hey guys, so to our surprise, or possibly to no surprise, Keaton got another urinary tract infection since our last video, and we have been admitted to the hospital pretty much since the day after I put out that last video. Here we are right now in the stallery with him. Uh, there he is over there in the bed, just wiggling away. And this is day 6.
Seven.
Day 7 that we've been here.
Nope, day 8.
Right. Yeah, we're on day 8 right now. See, we lose all track of time now that we're in isolation, right? Yeah, so we've been here 8 days now, treating a urinary tract infection. It's been a little interesting. This one's been throwing us for a loop because he was being treated for 5 days, no, 6 days. See, again, losing a track of time here. With IV meds, and then they reran the urinalysis and it was still infected. So we're just sitting here right now actually waiting for results on that to see if that's because this bug is being persistent or if he's got a new bug altogether. And hopefully the results will be such that we can treat this with an oral med and then we could just go home and properly isolate ourselves and, seclude ourselves from society. That being said, again, like I said in my last video, if you're able to, make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're isolating yourselves and monitoring your children and making sure that everybody's washing their hands properly, frequently, maintaining that space between people, because on the drive between here and home, I've seen people out on the streets shaking hands, hugging each other, walking side by side. That's not what social isolation means, guys. You got to pay close attention to this thing because it can spread really quickly. Just look at Italy, just look at Iran. These places are not doing so well, and we need to try and prevent that in Canada. The hospital itself is taking a lot of precautions for the COVID-19 isolation, and I'm glad to see these preventative measures in place. So what they're doing is at every entry point, they're actually screening people and asking them a series of questions before they come in. And they're, of course, watching you too to see if you're exhibiting these symptoms and making sure you're not lying. And then they make everybody put some hand sanitizer in their hand and rub it together before they go in. And then you have to have a sticker that says family member or visitor. Mine's actually on my jacket right now. So if I'm going to go out anywhere in the hospital outside of this room, I'm going to have to take that sticker with me. And if I don't, then they're actually going to stop me and question me in the hallways, which is good. They need to try and contain this any way they can. Also, they're limiting the amount of visitors per patient to 1 per room. The only reason we have an exception for 2 adults for Keaton is because he's special needs and because we're switching off on a day-to-day basis. So I'll be here one night, Sarah will be here the other night. I'll be here one night, Sarah will be the other, and so on and so on. Until we finally get out of here and can go home and isolate properly. Okay, so I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about because I'm about to head down and get us some lunch. So there's my visitor badge right there. And I'll show you on the way down what it looks like. So heading down, as you can see, just leaving the ward right now for E. There's signs everywhere that tell you if you've traveled outside of Canada, if you've been in close contact, and then telling you exactly what to do. Put on a mask, clean your hands, and there's also alcohol, hand sanitizer at every doorway. Heading down the hallway, there is pretty much nobody here. It is a pretty empty building right now, and typically there's a lot more foot traffic, especially at this time of the day, than there is right now. As you can see, looking around, an overhead shot of the cafeteria, it's pretty darn empty. And then if you head toward the elevators, it says right here, social distancing. If you are able to take the stairs. So since I'm able to, that's what I'm going to do. There's an overhead view of the cafeteria from the second floor. They're doing a good job keeping the space between the people. You can see most people down here are doing a good job of social distancing themselves. And there's at least 6 feet of space between each table and the one next to it. Usually they're packed in like sardines down here, so they're doing a pretty good job, I would say. So over there is one of the security checkpoints I'm talking about. They're stopping people coming in, they're asking them questions, they're making sure that they pass the screening before they let them in, and they have a hand sanitizer station right there. And they're also making sure people use it before they leave as well. And now I've got our lunch. I'm gonna take the long, arduous process of going up the stairs. Let's go. That was one flight. We gotta go all the way up to the 4th floor now. One thing's for sure, I'm gonna be in a lot better shape by the time we're done this hospital visit. If you find yourself getting really bored or stir crazy during the isolation period, once we're out of this hospital, I will be streaming on Twitch again, playing a variety of games. I'm not gonna stick to just one. I've given up on the mixer thing because streaming on 2 platforms is just too much for me to handle at this point. So I'll just be sticking to Twitch. My Twitch channel is twitch.tv/Shawn Pipiers, all one word. And that will be linked in the description below. Also, check us out on Twitter if you want to get regular updates as to what's going on with us. That will also be linked in the description below. And thanks for watching. Be safe out there. Bye. So this is a rare event that you guys get to witness firsthand. We just saw the doctor and we've been told that we are discharged. We can go home. Keaton is infection free. We have some care options for what we're going to be doing at home and taking care of him there and making sure he stays infection free. And now we can go home and begin our isolation. So see you guys on Twitch.